Alright, what's up everyone? So today's question is phenomenal, and I think it's a perfect example of what could show up on test day. So here it says atherosclerosis is the gradual accumulation of plaque, which is composed primarily of cellular waste and cholesterol, that deposits on the walls of arteries. What sort of diet would be most conducive to someone who is prone to atherosclerosis? So I'm saying if someone came in and you knew that they were at a risk for atherosclerosis, which of these four diets would you recommend? And so the key words here are atherosclerosis, and I'm not even going to bother spelling out the whole thing because my spelling is horrible. Another keyword is cholesterol, okay? And that's something that I picked out when I read this question, or when I made this question, because cholesterol is something that you should know is biologically relevant here. And similarly, atherosclerosis is a condition. So this is, personally, I think is a really good MCAT question because, as I told you, it connects the molecular realm, right? It connects the molecular to the macroscopic. And that is, as a doctor, that's what you're doing all the time, right? You have to figure out a diagnosis based on certain things that may be happening at the molecular level. And that is why this one is perfect, because you're connecting the symptoms of atherosclerosis to something that you would actually want to figure out, like diet-wise, what is best. With that, let's go into the first keyword, which was atherosclerosis. And what is atherosclerosis? And the question already explains it, but it basically is plaque buildup, right, in the arteries. And you don't need to know exactly what it was, but this question gives you the context. And this image that I have in the lower left shows you this, probably better than anything else. So you'll see that this blood vessel that I'm outlining in green has this little layer of plaque that has built up, and that plaque ends up blocking blood flow, right? It blocks blood flow. And this blood is something that circulates throughout the entire region, and it blocks the blood flow to where various organs. And so when it blocks blood flow to various organs, you can get a lot of things, because when there's no blood, an organ can't survive that long, because blood has all the oxygen, and oxygen is what organs needs to survive. And in this case, you can have a stroke, you can have a heart attack. If it stops to your kidney can stop functioning, and if it goes to your brain, that's a stroke. It's crazy. So atherosclerosis is bad, right? But I wanted to give you an overview of the disease, not only to educate you, but also to give you a scope into why this is so phenomenal, how you can take these fundamental, basic observations and really apply them to something that is so complicated. And I think it takes a lot to appreciate this, and that's why I want to make sure you appreciate it by giving you this overview. So that's our first keyword. Our second keyword was cholesterol. And cholesterol is the major contributor to atherosclerosis, right? So I'm going to just write that here because I'm saying cholesterol is a major contributor to atherosclerosis. And believe it or not, it's synthesized by all cells. It's so important because it does a lot of things. And these things that I'm telling you, one of those is fluidity, membrane fluidity. And I'm sure many of you who are studying for the MCAT know cholesterol is involved in membrane fluidity. And another thing this cholesterol is involved in is it's a precursor for steroid hormones, right? You remember steroid hormones? Those are hormones that signal throughout your body, and cholesterol is the precursor for all of those. So cholesterol is essentially very needed for your body. And the structure for cholesterol is shown down here. It has 4 rings, and it's primarily hydrophobic, as you can tell, because it only has carbon chains. But one thing I want to point out is cholesterol is good. In certain amounts, it's good. But I'm telling you that when you have too much of it, as this lower right-hand image shows, it starts building up as a plaque. And that plaque is what leads to atherosclerosis. And again, remember, we're connecting the molecular to the macroscopic. And that plaque can be detrimental. So the structure of cholesterol should remind you that cholesterol is very hydrophobic. And a hydrophobic molecule tends to be called a lipid. Remember that? Lipids are one of the 4 main macromolecules that make up our body. And if it's a lipid, lipids are also known as fats, right? So this is the connection that you should have made. Cholesterol is a lipid, and lipid is a fat. And so now let's bring it all together, because atherosclerosis is caused by a lot of cholesterol, right? I mean, a certain amount is good because you need it in your body for your hormones, you need it in your body for your membranes, but if you eat too much cholesterol, you get this plaque buildup. So if you wanted to prevent atherosclerosis, you would want to decrease cholesterol intake, right? And that's what the doctor you might have heard tell you that, or to anyone who's affected by an excess of cholesterol. My dad has high cholesterol. The doctor will say, take less cholesterol. But a cholesterol is a lipid, right? And a lipid is a fat, right? So if you want to decrease the risk of atherosclerosis, if you want to give a diet to someone who is prone to atherosclerosis, you should tell them to decrease the intake of fats. And that is a low-fat diet, right? So proteins don't ever enter the equation because cholesterol is a fat, and you want to prevent cholesterol intake. And so the answer here is B. And I hope, again, the point of these videos is to give you a question, but also get you to appreciate how phenomenal it is, how much science has progressed, and how we have such a great understanding of molecular to macroscopic. I mean, we have ways to go, but I think it's just phenomenal that we can make these sorts of questions and answer them at such a young age. And so with that, I hope you guys learned something. Subscribe, like, share, and please let me know if you found this helpful. All right, see you guys in the next video. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate it. You want to check out any of my other videos, there's going to be one right here, another link to one of my videos right here, and another video right here. Why not? I'll put one video right over here. And last but not least, if you want to subscribe to this channel, really appreciate it, because I'm still an early YouTuber trying to get it down, but a subscription button should be right over here. So please subscribe. Cool. Thanks. See you guys in the next one. Hope you find these videos helpful.